Hi everyone, this is audap. Let's check out Cotton Reboot on Nintendo Switch. Now this is the Japanese release. It is coming to the North American eShop, but I don't know when. And there's been no details exactly when either, other than you can pre-order like the special edition with like a box full of some pretty cool stuff. With that being said, you know, it's easy enough to make a Japanese account and have and just to purchase Japanese eShop points. So that's what I did. At least until we get a little bit more news other than coming soon. But yes, it is coming to PlayStation 4 and Nintendo Switch, and this is what it's going to look like. Alright, so we have, I'm assuming the reboot, the original 6800. I'm going to assume that. This must be time attack, probably 2 minutes and 5 minutes, I'm guessing. Let's just start from the top. And then L button to add credits. You don't say.
Willows が大好きなコットンという魔法使いがいました。お願いです。助けてください。私の世界は闇の魔物たちに支配されてしまいました。どうか闇の魔物を倒して私たちの世界を救って。
Now, Cotton's a bit of a cult classic, you know, an excellent game that was released on, you know, 1600 computers, and, you know, probably most notably on the TurboGrafx 16 or PC Engine. But for whatever reason, the distribution was not very high. There have been versions for like Genesis, you know, Panorama Cotton, which was kind of like a Space Harrier-esque take on the game. So I'm happy that they're attempting to reintroduce Cotton to the rest of the world. Cotton certainly deserves the treatment. You see, it's a really high quality remake. I mean, these are really sharp sprites. It's certainly more than I was expecting them to do. I thought this was going to be like a very, you know, a super cheap effort, but no, there was some work put into this. Yeah, I mean, look how crisp that line art is. I mean, this is exactly how I would expect a reboot to be handled. You know, not just to give me the same, you know, low resolution sprites of the original. You know, I mean, give me that too, but for a true reboot or a true remake, you know, update the art. You know, make it crisp, make it look like the concept art, which the original systems just couldn't do at the time. I mean, you know, you see you have in the lower right or lower left-hand corner, that's the original sprite for her face, but you know, the actual artwork has been, you know, significantly upscaled, and the artwork in game is significantly upscaled. Yeah, see, this effort, I can understand why it's, I think it's like $47 or something like that, maybe it's 42. I mean, it basically works out to be 50 bucks. But yeah, I mean, this is a $50 effort. And I'm more than happy to pay for something which has clearly put a lot of detail, a lot of hard work into it. Yeah, occasionally these releases will actually be cross-buy, or meaning that I've actually bought some Japanese games from that eShop, and then when the North American release came, I automatically had those in my inventory, even for the North American release. I have a feeling that will be like that for this game, but it is one of those things where if the title is largely the same, and the inventory is the same for both North American and Japanese shops, then you'll actually end up owning both without having to buy it twice. I suppose I should try to see if there's an actual English option already. There might already be. I kind of doubt it though. You know me.
簡単にはいかないわよ。なんか知っている油落ちてるわね。
What am I doing? There's almost too much going on.
心にティータイム。ほっこりくさーいこの神殿の
し4つ目のウィローを手に入れました。コットンの行く手にはまだ数々の強敵が待っている。負けるなコットン、それいけコットン、こと
まだ戦える？帰りたくなってきた。頑張るわよ、コットン。
No. Kind of hard to see the ceiling there. That's rough. I'm not sure how to get away from that one.
単にはいかないわよ。とことんやってやるわ。ウィローが待ってる。
Yeah, look at this artwork. I mean, it's really gorgeous. I said they went all out for this reboot. I mean, here's hoping that it's successful and they can produce more games in the series with this like level of quality. I mean, now that the engine's in place, I imagine it wouldn't be too terribly difficult to make some more titles, but I guess you never know. See that one. Get many chances there. Yeah, you can definitely see why it's such a cult favorite. I mean, it's just a really wild game. So fast, huh?
ごめんなさいドラゴンさん。あなたには別に恨みはないんだけど、あと1個で七色に輝く丸々したぷよぷよプチプチのドドミックなウイローがプニプニプニのほよよーのおいしそうにあずきは桜の後で食べて、それからね2、3、4、5、6、7、コットン、6色のウィローをよく集めましたね。でも私がいる限り妖精界には行かせませんよ。ここでウィローと一緒に食べて差し上げましょう。勢いは止められない。ようやくウィロー食べられると思ったら、なんなのあんた。魔物のボスよ、この人が全部悪いの。ウィローごと食べて差し上げましょう。
Oh.
みんなそういうのよ。頑張りましょう。待ってコットン、
Tough fight.
ありがとうコットン。数々の辛い戦いを乗り越えてよくここまで来てくれましたね。 あなたの勇気ある戦いでこの妖精界のみならずあなたの住んでいる世界にもやがて朝が訪れるでしょう。この七色ビロこそこの次元のすべての色を作り出している光の結晶なのです。ビロ今この手を離れ自らの色に戻りなさい。
コットンさん、本当にありがとうございました。これで妖精界も救われます。ビッグなウィローなんて嘘をついて本当にごめんなさい。でもみんなあなたに感謝しているんですよ。あなたがいなければ闇の波動を消し去ることはできなかったでしょう。女王様もとってもあらもしもし、石になってる。いや、そういえば隣の国もなんだか黄金のウィローを盗賊に盗まれたとか言ってたわ。退治するとウィローがもらえるかもしれん。いくぽーん。
Well, I tell you what, I mean, this is an amazing quality reboot. I mean, all the artwork's high resolution. You know, it's all 60 frames. You know, all the voice work and everything. It's pretty amazing. I said this is how I expect franchises to be rebooted. You know, in their, you know, with the high resolution artwork and all the attention to detail. You know, I always hate it when we see reboots and then they just use like, you know, the same sprites from the old games and just scale them up, and so then you have, instead of, you know, tiny blocky sprites, you have gigantic blocky sprites. And, you know, this is, to me, this is how games should have looked, or this is how games would have looked if we would have had the power to develop these games. You know, they wouldn't have been, you know, 8x8 sprites. You know, that was never a choice that we made because, you know, because we thought that was how they should look. You know, that was the best we could do with the technology at hand. But now that we have better technology, you know, let's go ahead and use the higher resolution art that we always dreamed that we could have. And this is sort of that, you know, that what I think would represent that idea and philosophy. And I wish more companies would do it. I wish I wouldn't get the same, you know, 8x8 Mega Man sprite. You know, because somebody wants to, you know, tickle my nostalgia. It's like, well, my nostalgia told me that it never should have looked like that. It was the best you could do. You know, just like all the flicker and slowdown and, you know, and, you know, redrawn sprites instead of super scaling. I mean, all that stuff is just stuff that, you know, we had to make do with. But now that we don't have to make do with, and we have a lot more flexibility, you know, I think it's time to just like revisit these franchises and give them the life that they really deserve. Looks like Cotton is it's a full price game, right? Well, I mean, sort of full price. I mean, full price nowadays is considered $70, but this is probably going to come out at $50, even on the eShop. And I think the collector's edition hovers around $100, somewhere around there. But if you look at the work that's put into here, I mean, you've got you got the previous versions available, like the X6800 version or 68000 version, and you've got a ton of work done into the new version. You've got the 2 minutes games and 5 minutes games for the score attack. You know, those were popular back in the day. And as I said, this is an unusually, you know, loving recreation of the game, and I think it deserves some success. So hopefully, shmup fans won't be too upset with the price. Personally, I'm not, because, you know, my while I do have the original TurboGrafx version, you know, I have to guard that with my life. Because the price of that is ridiculous. And if you wanted to get a copy, assuming you still had a working TG16, You know, you're looking at least 120 for a card only, to 250 for a complete set. So, you know, I know we like to complain about the prices of these shmups, but to actually buy the shmup right now, retail, would cost you more than when it first came out. Instead, if you wanted to get an old 68,000, you know, the Japanese computer that played a lot of these games, good luck, man. Not a lot of those even still work. You know, they were all on floppies. I think they were on 5.25-inch floppies, not even 3.5 back in those days. But personally, I'm okay with these prices. You know, it's a incredibly niche genre anyway. There's only, you know, a few of us out there compared to the entire gaming populace. And so we're naturally going to just get squeezed a little bit more than normal. Check out the original here. This is going to be closest to the TG16, although this is a little bit more advanced because, you know, the 6800 was it was a PC made for gaming. And again, the most lazy developers would have just done this and just given us an upscale version of the original with the same, you know, low-res sprites. But thankfully, you know, this effort went the extra mile. Yeah, we'll get to the meat. And we can see the, you know, major differences, right? And again, you know, the original Cotton looks pretty good still. I mean, I think these kind of graphics, you know, live forever, just because the, you know, the cartoony style, you know, is something that it's an aesthetic that lives on, that doesn't need to really improve. Right, if you're looking at old PlayStation 1 games, you know, that aesthetic with the blocky polygons and the low-res textures, I mean, that stuff doesn't really look, you know, probably doesn't look its best. And this, you know, outside of the resolution, does look still really good. I think even now, you know, when we see games that take that toon shading aesthetic, I think years down the road, those are going to be the games that we think are the most impressive looking, just because they look so close to their original concept art. Yeah, I won't play this all the way, but it does go to show, you know, it's a massive evolution for the reboot version. And they still retained all the same great gameplay, but they amped up the intensity. But not so much that it made it a different game. It just made it a, you know, a much more frantic one. Yeah, I'm sure there are people out there that maybe appreciate these or prefer these lower resolution graphics. And, you know, more power to you, but again, it was never, when we were making games back in these days, we would have killed to have a sprites and, you know, 4K resolution, or even, you know, 1080p, you know, as a thing that we wish we could have done, just wasn't possible. Yeah, that's certainly as I remember it. The Cotton's awesome. Unfortunately, a very, you know, a very rare series. Oh yeah, they have the concept art now. Oh, or some instructions at least. Let's see. Chinese. Oh, we do have some different languages. Asian languages, East Asian at least. Yeah, we can set the difficulty and we can play as Silk. That's hilarious. Again, change the change the buttons if you need to. And we can always use the original soundtrack as well. So yeah, I'm really anxious to see this released in North America. I'll probably pick up the physical special edition. You know, I'm big enough fan of Cotton that I'd want to do that. And yeah, hopefully you folks out there will also pick this up for yourselves. It's well worth it. I mean, it's a great effort. And I don't often say that about shmups nowadays, because it's not true for most shmups nowadays. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed watching. I will see you at the next stream.